Hey, Christy Mattoon here from Mind Your Wire. I've been sitting here doing some work today and just kind of contemplating all kinds of stuff for a lot of different reasons. But one of the biggest things that keeps coming back to me is that all of this stuff that we try and do, right? Energy psychology, energy medicine, all the protocols, all the ideas, all the different thoughts can be accomplished by exactly the same thing, I believe, which is learning how to be in a continual state of unconditional love or compassion, or a combination of both, with a little sprinkling of peace and joy, and top it off with some bliss. I don't even know. And unfortunately, most people's idea of what that means is some kind of heightened level of woohoo all the time. And it's really not. It just means you feel good. It means that when things happen around you, you don't have to wig out. It means when life is going to continue to happen. And if you can stay in peace, or you can stay in compassion, especially for yourself through any circumstance or any kind of thing, it just changes the nature of a circumstance because it changes your perception about the circumstance. And so I wanted to make this little video to talk about this because I had worked with an energy healer person years ago. In her office, I was actually a surrogate. I was a body. And I would feel things for the clients that she was working on, especially if it was remote. And she had a couple of little phrases that she used that were just actually really kind of cool. And I was reading this to a group that I teach on Sundays the other day. And I don't know why it popped up. I don't even know where it came from, but I was reading it to them. And I was like, what a cool thing to do in heart coherence. Like, what an interesting way if you could sit there and read this in a heart coherent state, in a state of love, and just like release all this stuff. And it just covers so much ground, these two little phrases do. And I'm going to give them to you. I'm going to say them. I'm going to read both of them to you. And then I'm actually going to post them in the comments below so that you can take them and try this and see if it helps you, see if it works for you. And this is all of this stuff that we do, right, is something, sometimes it works for a person and sometimes it doesn't, and it's hit and miss and we don't know why. And it all depends a lot, I believe, on your level of consciousness, on your level of growth, on your level of where are you at when the thing popped up. So wherever you're at on your journey, wherever you are, and some people will need to get into a whole brain state first, right? We need to sit there and do that work in a whole brain state, and I teach that kind of stuff. Some people need to go to somebody else and have them do it for them. Some people, there's so many different ways to do all this stuff, and depending where you're at on your journey will probably depict what you need in that arena. Some people can see beyond some of that stuff. They're in a little bit different of a place, and they can go straight, let's say, into heart coherence for themselves without listening to a recording. They can just bam and get there. Some people can. Some people still need the talk through, and that's fine, right? That's where you're at, and that's totally fine. Some people have done enough work to get them into the hologram. I had a lady do it the other day, and it kind of shocked her. It kind of blew her mind. She was able to pull her own hologram out of her aura, and she was just like, whoa, you can do that? And I'm like, it's yours. Why couldn't you do that? I don't know, right? And so, you can utilize those kind of things and that kind of knowledge in those instances. And I think when you realize that the energy is just energy and it's all energy, and you realize, what can I really do with this? How does this actually work? And I keep asking that question. How does this really work? What is the easy or means to the end of all of this? I think consistency counts in anything you do, right? Any change process, no matter where you're at on your journey, whether somebody's doing it for you, you're able to do some of it for yourself. You need a combination of the two. Whether you have to go through the meditative process for 2 hours and get into heart coherence, or you can do it the way I do it, just be like, whoop, and pop in there, which is what I try and teach people how to do. Whether, I don't even know, right? Whatever the thing is, if you are in such a place where you're recognizing that energy is energy, and you just need to hit the mark on the wavelength and on the vibration, right? It changes everything. I'm still trying to figure out how to get into Metatron's cube myself, but that's another story. I do believe it's all a matter of what you believe. It's all a matter of what you believe and how solid you are in that belief. Because sometimes we'll say we believe something and we'll sit there thinking it until we actually get some kind of subconscious activity to it, but the cells of our body are still saying, no, you don't, right? So we still have the wrong neuropeptides in our system that don't go with the thought. It creates like this contrary kind of attitude that you have to fight against. Excuse me. And so you have to recognize that too. There's that element to all of this stuff. There's that element that's there that I can say it, I can think it, but if I don't feel it, I'm out of coherence, right? So there's that part of it. But I want to give you these two statements, and I want you to play with this idea. I am not going to do it with you. I'm just going to give you the statements. I'm going to read them. I'll put them below. You get into heart coherence. Play with the idea and see what it can do for you. I think what I want to say, if you did this right, if you were consistent, right, the consistency counts in everything. Consistent enough with it, you could conquer the program, meaning the program that we're in. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, pass it by. Keep moving. Don't try and force it in. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Move on to something else. Let me read this to you real quick. So the first one is kind of a clearing technique, I guess, but I think it's more than that. And this one's specifically for like trauma or issues or incidents. So here's how it's worded. Here's how it's worded. I'm scanning the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious minds and soul level for traumas, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and all emotions tied to these traumas in all directions of time, all lifetimes, past, present, and future, all dimensions, all levels of the aura and electromagnetic field, and the hologram. With this, I am including forgiveness for everyone on all levels of the spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental and energy bodies, including myself. And then what she used to do was like, wait for a second, and you can feel the energy of whatever is coming into your hand. You'll start to feel, especially if you feel energy, you'll start to feel like you just let it grow and grow, and then she would just throw it up into the cosmos. And people would just be like, right? Can you do this for yourself? Here's what I would do, is I would read that in heart coherence. I would drop into a heart coherent state first. I would do some breath work, sit there for 3 minutes, really get some good juices flowing, and then I would read that from my heart space, not from my brain. You don't want to start thinking through whatever the trauma is you're trying to clear. You want to be in your heart, and you just want to be able to release it. Okay, so that was the first one. The second one is for current emotions. Here's how this one goes. I am scanning the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious minds and soul level for all people and situations that cause an overreaction or any negative action or reactions in all lifetimes, past, present, and future, all dimensions, and all levels of the aura, electromagnetic field, and the hologram. With this, I am including forgiveness for everyone on all levels of the spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental, and energy body planes, and including forgiveness for myself. And then again, she would say she'd wait and gather up this energy ball, and then she'd throw it up into the cosmos to be completely dissipated into love energy forever, right? So that's kind of the intention, is you get this, move the energy off of you, get rid of it, transmute it into love. And I would just say that in a heart coherent state. It kind of accomplishes the same thing. It accomplishes the same thing, I think, from a heart coherent state, because now you're tied in with your spirit, right? Because that's where your spirit resides. You're opening those subconscious doors. This kind of stuff would happen faster. And you're including, like, she's got all kinds of levels of stuff and everything else wrapped in there. If you want to change the wording, I bless you, right? Do what you want to with it. This is actually kind of fun stuff. When you start realizing how much power you actually have and how much control you can actually take of your little physical body here, right? It's yours. Fix it, harm it, create it, do it different, start over again. You get options. It's so funny to me now. So I bless you in this. I hope it helps. Please comment below. Share this video if it helped you. It's probably going to help somebody else. And if you need my help, I'm at Christy@mindrewire.com. You can find my information all over the place. I am about to do another weekend live. It's going to be a couple weekend longs, actually, for heart coherence. If you want to learn that, keep your eyes open. Look for it on Instagram at Mind Rewire. Look for it on Facebook at Mind Rewire. Look for it on my website. It will probably be up tomorrow for people to start signing up for this. It's going to be over a couple of different weekends, and we're going to hit a bunch of different points. You will know heart coherence, how to get into it, what it feels like, and things that you can do in it by the time we're through. And it's only $77. Anyway, I bless you, I love you, and I hope this helps. Thank you so much.